One of the things that comes up a lot during sessions with clients is where they don't really know how to tell the difference between red flags with people. So today, I want to give to you a powerful tool that you can use to help you navigate this. Of course, as I'm sharing this, I highly recommend that if you're interested in this, you do the internal work to heal from trauma. This is just a tool, but it's not until you start to actually process trauma that you will have the greatest impact. The main reason that I know about this tool is because I am a trauma survivor. I have experienced a lot of trauma since I was a kid. I was born into it, lived with it, and just kept repeating and repeating for years and years. And I've also healed from a lot of it. I'm also a Latina, and I also have indigenous ancestry. So there is additional trauma just by being Latina and also having that indigenous ancestry that I've had to heal. Because of how much trauma that I experienced, for me in my life, it was very difficult to be able to discern between people that were actually healthy and people that were not. At times, I would allow people in my life that I thought were healthy, and later to just find out that they were just predators or just abusive people. And it wasn't until I started to heal from trauma that I finally started to acknowledge the red flags and see the red flags and start to navigate my world and my life in a different perspective. Everything shifted for me when I understood that everything is information. Absolutely everything is information. People will always show you who they are. And especially when they are doing things that are not comfortable for you, they are definitely gonna show you and tell you who they are. Now, there are some people that are sneaky and what they do doesn't match what they say. So again, everything's information, and it's really important that you take everything in from a curious perspective to understand what's really happening there. One of the ways that you will easily know if somebody is healthy or not healthy is if they do something that doesn't feel comfortable for you and you set a boundary with them. If you set a boundary with them and their response is to lash out at you, that is a huge red flag, because a healthy person will not lash out at you. A healthy person will hear you out. They will want to talk about it more. And if it makes sense, they will want to find a win-win solution. And so in my healing journey, this is what I started to do. I had to learn how to set boundaries because that's something I did not learn. I was never given those skills. My parents never gave me that. So I had to learn as an adult how to do that. And when I started to do that, what I would do is set a boundary with somebody, and then I would kind of just watch to see how they responded. And I would know, I'm going to set a boundary, and once I set this boundary, I get to see if this person is going to be healthy or not healthy for me. So I would give them space, I would give them time, and I would watch what they would say and do. If they lashed out at me, and it made me feel obviously very uncomfortable, I would stop the conversation. I would stop the friendship. I would stop us interacting, because first of all, I don't deserve to be treated that way. Nobody deserves to be treated that way, especially when somebody is overstepping their boundaries and treating you poorly. Nobody has a right to do that. If they lashed out at me or they treated me like my needs, like my boundaries didn't matter, and try to gaslight me, that was a huge indication that they are not healthy individuals. If they actually made an effort to hear me out and were receptive, and sometimes we would talk about it and find win-win solutions, because the other person has needs too, so you have to be receptive of that. Of course, if you have needs that are like, I don't want to be hit or I want to be hurt, you don't negotiate that, period. Basically, they would hear me out and they would correct their actions or whatever they were doing, or make an effort to make amends or to work together. Then that was my cue, my clue that these people were possibly healthy people, and I felt safer around them. The other aspect to this is that, again, it's really important that you gather as much information as you can. Keep setting boundaries and keep watching how they respond. And the more information that you have, and it's literally having a pattern and it's matching, and this person is literally not treating you the way that you deserve, you don't need any more proof. They are telling you who they are. This is how they handle conflict, and this is who they are. You don't have to try to gather more information after that. And the reason for that is because, again, people are human and sometimes they make mistakes. So if somebody lashes out but they corrected, then you know that's an indication, okay, this is possibly a healthy person because they're correcting. But again, keep watching them, keep taking in information, watch what they say and do, and then tune in to see how that feels for you. If it feels like you feel safe, then that is an indication that they're possibly a healthy person. And if you feel unsafe, then there's something else going on there, and it's important to look at that. So I hope you found that tip helpful. If you want to learn more, make sure to follow me, like this video, and share it. Also, if you are interested, I have classes that I offer. I specifically work with women. So I have classes that I offer for driven women, and I also have classes for driven Latinas. If you want to learn how to do more internal work and connect with your internal world and heal from trauma, I also have some free resources on my website. I will post all the information below.